20 census is a big deal. You'll find individuals that are coming and doing presentations. Next week, not next week, but the following week, we have a representative that's going to be coming from the Congresswoman's office to actually give a presentation on the census and the importance of our census. In the Jewish communities, they make sure they're counted. Even if they have to turn the names around, they make sure they're counted 2 and 3 times. They're not hiding. They want to make sure the money comes to their community, and that's so important. So I believe that within our communities, we need to know the importance of the census. What does it mean? What does it stand for? To be counted and those things. So definitely just want to give you guys a heads up. 2 weeks from this Monday that we are going to have a representative from the Congresswoman's office that's going to be coming and actually doing a presentation on the census. Okay? At this time, I am going to call Miss Odetta King. That's going to do a presentation on financial literacy.
Hello, guys. How's everyone doing tonight?
Welcome to our home.
Thank you. Thank you. Doris, I just want to say thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to share financial information because I think this is something that everyone needs, and you're doing an amazing job at having this forum every Monday night. So kudos to you, and thank you so much for helping our people. Awesome. So is everyone here from Guyana, or most of us? Of course, most of us. Okay. 99.2. I'm also from Guyana, Georgetown, East Penitence. Anyone from East Penitence?
One or two.
One or two. Okay.
You came here when you were 2.
No. Yeah, so I came here in 1997 at the age of 21. My parents are Guyanese. Went to school and did the whole gamut of, graduating and having this 6-figure corporate job. But one thing that I learned along the way is a lot of us, we work for money, but we don't know how to make money work for us. Do you guys agree? They tell us to get a job, right? And you'll be fine. How did that work out? We got the job, but are we fine?
No. They don't teach it in school.
Exactly. And they also don't teach us how money works, because when we get our paycheck, what do we do with it? We spend it. And if we save, where is the #1 place that most people are saving their money today? In the bank. And this is why we're broke. Because the bank is safe, but the bank doesn't grow our money. The average interest on the bank is about less than 1%. So if we keep doing that and we're only putting our money in the bank to save, unfortunately, statistics shows we are a nation that's retiring broke. And I don't think this should be shocking. Most of us, if you look at the people before us, including both of my parents, there's not anything there, right? And unfortunately, if we keep doing that same thing, we're not going to have anything to give to our kids as well.
Going nowhere.
So what I want to share tonight is just how money works. When it comes to money, there's 3 rules that everybody needs to know. We have to grow our money. So where we're going to put it, there's a couple of different places. But we have to grow our money. Ideally, it should be somewhere earning about 8% and higher. Wherever you have your money right now, if you're not getting 8% and higher, we need to have a sidebar conversation. So one is growth. The second one is taxes, because we live in the States. And again, depending on where your money is sitting, you're going to be taxed differently. And again, if most people have their money in the bank account, you're paying taxes. You're probably not seeing it much because the interest on your money is very low. But understanding taxation and knowing where to put your money is going to impact you in the long run. And most of us, if we have a job, you probably have a 401k, a pension, an IRA. Those things are great, but they're not the best. And your HR is not going to tell you this because your HR doesn't even know this as well. And the last point when it comes to money rules is understanding. So we have growth, right? We have taxation. And what else do you guys think we're missing? Anyone want to guess?
Repeat the question.
There's 3 money rules. So one is growth, knowing where to put your money to get high interest. And if you have your money sitting in a bank, all of it, unfortunately, it's not going to grow. I have clients who make little money, and I have clients that makes a lot of money. Right now, I'm talking to a friend of mine who is also Guyanese, has $2 million cash sitting in the bank. And she tells me I'm good. And as much as it's $2 million, it's not sitting in the right place. So it's not good. So we have to put our money where we're going to get growth, right? And if your money is sitting anywhere that's not earning 8% or higher, it's not growing. So we talk about taxes, depending on where, again, you're putting your money, it's going to be taxed differently. So if you have a job and you're getting a 401k, a pension, an IRA, 403b, or any one of those, they tell you it's the best because you're not paying taxes now. But what happens in 10, 15, 20 years when you're ready to retire? You'll have to pay the taxes then, right?
Yep.
How much is taxes going to be in 20, 30 years?
Greater than now.
Greater than now. So why are we putting our money in an account that we know for sure we'll have to pay taxes, and how much? We don't know. But we're going to have to pay more.
Plus penalties.
Plus penalties. So if you try to take your money out before age 59 and a half, Uncle Sam slaps us with a 10% penalty. And this is what everybody is doing. This is where everybody money is sitting. Well, we're Guyanese, so some of us are probably still doing the susu on the box, which is even worse because your money's not growing. It's not even getting you interest. And when you get your box money, what do you do with it? You spend it. So keep doing that for 30 years. How is your retirement going to look? You're going to be broke. Right? You're going to be broke. So we have free financial workshop, and my office is on Nostrum Avenue. I'm going to hand out one of these flyers. We do free financial workshop every Wednesday from 7 to 9. Guys, I can't say this enough. You have to learn how money works. You have to start saving your money smart. You have to put your money where it's going to grow. But you also got to watch out for losses. Because if we live in the States, right? So if we're going to invest, we're going to lose money at some point with the market.
There's always risk.
There's risk. But what if I tell you there are accounts that you don't lose? You don't lose when the market drops. Why aren't they telling us that there are accounts out here that when you put your money, you do not lose? They are.
That's news.
And this is why we're on a national campaign. Anybody you see wearing this button? We have 4,000 centers throughout the US and Canada. And our job is to educate, financially educate the community. So, what are you going to learn about? How to increase your cash flow, because everybody needs to make more money. You have a job, even if it's paying you 7 figures, you still need to make more money. Why? Cost of living goes up every year. So we're going to spend more. So why don't we look for ways to always make more? Even me, as I stand here today, I'm always looking for ways to make more money. So we're going to teach you how to increase your cash flow. We're also going to teach you how to get out of debt, because most people have a lot of debt and they have no idea when they're going to be debt free.
True.
Student loans are the worst. And they're not even managing their debt, or they're not even paying it. There's about 2 million people who are retired today that are still paying student loans. And that money is being garnished from their Social Security. And Social Security is not even enough as it is. So we're going to teach you how to be debt-free, because you have to be debt-free, because the interest on your debt is more than the money that you're making. We're also going to teach you how to build a solid financial foundation. How do you know if your financial is solid right now? How do you know if your financial house is solid? What are the components? So again, like I said, I have people that makes $2 million that has 2 million sitting in the bank, and you would think their financial house is solid because they have a lot of cash, right? But it's not solid. So you're gonna learn how to build a solid financial foundation. Now, you're also gonna learn about life insurance. Because again, there's 4 different types of life insurance, and unfortunately, majority of us only know about 2, term and whole. Which again is okay, but it's not the best. Because do you guys know that life insurance is one of the best way to build wealth? Instantly, you increase your net worth. If you have 100,000 policy right now, even though you don't own 100,000 cash, your net worth just went up by 100,000. A client of mine called me today. She's in Guyana, and she said, "Odetta, I need a $2 million policy." She gets it. She's a business person. She knows that instantly her wealth is going to be increased by 2 million. So, life insurance is another way to build and increase your net worth. And if you have a house or a mortgage, make sure your insurance face amount is higher than the balance of your mortgage. Because I have a client who had cancer, 3 years battling cancer. So the bank knew, what was going on with her health. So of course they didn't put her out. But the minute she kicked the bucket, her kids was out of the house. And when I heard the story, I asked, didn't she have life insurance? Well, guess what? No, she didn't. Because most people are not educated when it comes to life insurance. And the younger you are, the healthier you are, it's cheaper. So, life insurance you're going to learn about, and also building wealth. So for all of you who have your nice pension, your 401k, some of you might already be retired. And that money that you have sitting in your job retirement account, sad to say, you're going to lose it when the market drops. So when I sit with my clients who are already retired, I show them how to reposition that money and to put it in an account where they can never lose a penny. How does that sound? Nobody wants to lose money. Listen, when you're retired, you want a fixed income. You don't want to lose $1, right? And then retirement planning. So for some of us who are still working, it's about saving smart. So when you get to 60 and 65, you got a whole lot of coins. And then wealth preservation. So let's say you've done everything right, because now you're financially educated. How do you pass that down to your loved ones? How do you make sure that everything you've worked so hard goes to the right people that you want to have? Because if you don't have your ducks in a row legally, probate or the government steps in and say who gets what. So there's so many things that we educate families on when it comes to life insurance, savings, investment, managing your debt, building your wealth, investing smart. Guys, just take advantage of this information. So I'm going to have my flyer passed around. And like I said, if nothing else, get a free financial checkup. See what's going on with your financial house and fix it. Because I have never sat with a client where I had nothing to do. There's always something to do. There's always something that could be tweaked. There's always something that could be better, or there's always something that I could show them to make their financial house solid. And of course, along with building wealth, we are also very pro real estate. So right now we have this amazing community we're building in Guyana. It's called Friendship. Anybody knows Friendship, where it is? East Bank. So we're building, we're changing the landscapes of Guyana real estate. We're building 5,000 homes throughout the Canada, what am I saying? Throughout Guyana, right? So we're building 500 particularly in a community called Friendship. It comes with land and the house. These homes are not homes that are built and sitting waiting to be sold. We are custom building homes for you guys. And the home starts from $25,000 up. I spoke with a guy who works for MTA yesterday. He said he's about to retire in 18 months and he wants to go back home. A lot of us want to go back home, but you just don't want to go back home. You want to go back home to something. And I said today on my live, everybody, even if you don't plan on living in Guyana, you should own something in Guyana.
Is it a gated community?
It is going to be a gated community, yes. Yeah, we're freaking. They're not going to rob us, okay? So it is going to be gated. There's also lawn maintenance and garbage disposal. So you will be paying $50 a month, but again, you're getting security. And that's the number one concern with people going back home. You know, they're afraid that people are going to, you know, do whatever. So yes, it is a gated community. And this community, like I said, it's not anything that's just homes just sitting waiting to be sold. Right now, we're on the 35th home. We have about 10 people moving in for Christmas, and we have planted our flag in Guyana.
You don't have them right now?
Yes, we do. So if you go, and my cousin is going to share out a flyer. If you go on Fabulous Homes, Guyana Fabulous Homes International, we have a Facebook page, we have a YouTube. We're very transparent. The homes are fabulous because, of course, we live in the States. So all of our homes that we're building are foreign standards, with bathtub and like everything. Like it's not your typical Guyanese house that you've. And we also have clients that, you know, they may have their land already or they have a home in Guyana, but when you live in the States for 20, 30 years, do you really want to go back to Princess Street and Albaistan and East Penitence? No, you want to go back in a nice gated community. So even people who have their homes in Guyana, you know, they've had it for years, they still want to get something else because now it's going to be a way much nicer house than what they lived back then. And also the location.
We also build on their land. We also build on their land.
Right, and if you have your land, we also build on your land. So this coming Saturday, we're having a home buying / financial literacy seminar. So I encourage everyone to make sure you get a flyer, share it with someone, and just come to the information session and find out how you can own one of these properties.
Where is this?
It's in Friendship.
No.
Oh, the seminar?
Yes.
Is at my office. The address is on the flyer. So my office is 2174 Nostrand Avenue, is at the Flatbush Junction, right where there's a Target Mall. Flatbush Junction. We're on the second floor. There's a U.S. Army recruiting building. And I'm going to say this one last thing. About 3 years ago, when I was looking to purchase land, I ended up speaking to this Indian lady. And she said to me, first of all, the land that she was selling me was like acres upon acres. It was too big for me. But I asked her how much does she want, and she charged me. Well, she told me the price was going to be $175,000 US. Just the land, $175,000. And I said, well, that's a lot. I can't afford it, but I'm just curious, why are you selling it? This land had been in her family generation for 4 generations deep. Land don't spoil. And the only reason why she was selling it is because her kids are born in America. They don't know anything about Guyana. And they're not planning on going back because they can't relate, right? But that land stayed in her generation for 4 generations deep. How many of us, it's over the river. Yeah. And she's going to sell it for, she probably sold it by now because that's been 3 years ago. But at the time she was calling 175, and the beauty is that she wasn't even strapped for cash. She's not in a hurry. She wasn't starving. She wasn't stressed. Hey, if it sell, it sell. If it don't, it don't. But the point is, 4 generations deep. She's not hungry to sell it. If she gets a sale, she'll take it. And now that's going to be money going to most likely her grandkids and her kids. How many of us can say we have something 4 generations deep?
Indians don't sell land.
So maybe we need to take a page out of their book. All of us in this place right now, how can any one of us say there's something was handed to us from 4 generations deep? 1 person. 2 people. You guys get to change that. You get to change that. It starts with you. You get to put something in place that even if you don't want to go back home, 4 generations, 3 generations, 2 generations, you pass it on to your great-great-great-grandkids who lives in the States and doesn't know anything about Guyana. And they go home and they sell that property, and now they have hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's about building wealth, guys. So I think that's my time, but if there's any questions, I'll stick around, and then I also have the flyers.
We need the flyers.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. King. Anyone has any questions for Ms. King? Okay.
Yeah, by the Kingston.
Oh, you'll speak to her directly?
Yeah,
Okay.
in Danish. No, again,
Anyone else has any questions?
Ms. King, which financial company you affiliated with?
World Financial Group. World Financial Group.
What financial group?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Are you familiar with World Financial Group? Okay, I guess you can meet with her and find out a little bit more about that. Let's just keep in mind our disclaimer. The Hills is not promoting or, giving any special. Absolutely, not responsible in any way. Okay. Very good. Yes, you have the script down pat. Thank you so very much. Okay. Is there anyone that's here that would like to
I'll talk to you just now.
say something? Yes. Your name, sir? Murderman? Okay.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Yesterday I had a conversation with Doris, and she told me the program that she have here on Friday night. On Monday, sorry. She explained everything to me, and I told her that, I will come out here to share my story with the people here. In other words, try to educate you guys on the prostate and depression. Now, as for the prostate, a lot of us, especially Guyanese or people from the Caribbean, we don't go to the doctor to get our normal screening. And why we don't go to the doctor? For the simple reason, some of us feel that we don't want the doctors to put anything in our butt. But we gotta understand something, that here is where we live in, and in order to avoid having
Medical problems.
in order to avoid being diagnosed with cancer, we have to go and get the early detection. What is it you're looking for? What are some of the symptoms? The first thing is frequent urination. Now, I don't have prostate cancer, but I have friends who diagnosed with the disease. Okay? So you have to go and get your screening. If you have frequent urination in the night, 3 or 4 times per night, then you have a problem. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have prostate cancer. It could be the prostate is swollen. And if you have an enlarged prostate, what happens is that it squeezes the urethra, right? That causes the urine to come out in drips. And you get a weak stream. But if you don't go and get it taken care of, then what happens is they have something, a medical term called urinary retention, where the urine comes back and go into the bladder. You don't want that to happen. Okay? Now, if you get frequent urination along with burning or pain during urination,